you've done a lot of architecture over the years, and you've also invested a lot of time and resources into building more efficient, more high-performance homes. You are Passive Home certified by the Passive Home Institute. Tell me a little bit about why you guys care, and then tell me about the Passive Home Institute and that building idea or philosophy.
So a couple of years ago, I went through EMU, Enrico, and got a CPHT, was a certified passive house tradesperson.
Yeah.
So the non-technical part, there's the CPHD, which is the designer, a lot of spreadsheets and technical information. Awesome. But I wanted to get the overall kind of picture of passive house because, as energy codes become more stringent, we wanted to understand ways that we can get high performance, whether it be literally passive house or something close to it or a little bit less, kind of adjacent or passive house light, so to speak. And so that we can have that offering where we have all the kind of range that we can offer clients if they really want something really high energy efficiency or something that's maybe not quite so much. I just really wanted to be able to have that knowledge and sort of overview that I could provide that for somebody, whatever their preferences might be. And finding ways that we can do, better quality homes that are more comfortable, more durable, more resilient, and just feel really good. We've done the Green Home Tour through the Green Building Guild, and we were in a passive house a couple of years ago, and we're like, this house just feels so good.
Yeah.
It's quiet. Just the temperature is really consistent, just feels good. It was quite interesting, and we really liked that.
I think the biggest benefit we've seen, too, was with Louisville changing their building code. Really wasn't that much of a change for us because Jesse was already doing a lot of those things already. So then the building code up to net zero, we were like, no big deal. So that's where we've really seen a benefit as now the building codes kind of are getting elevated up.
And we can have, it's great to have that background because we really like to have those deeper level conversations when the client makes different decisions. We can meet with the contractor and we say, okay, we got to manage, vapor, water vapor diffusion and manage air vapors there. We have to watch and manage, air sealing, all different performance factors, the thermal qualities of that and insulation. So we can kind of geek out a little bit and figure out how we want to twist and turn the dials to make the best optimized solution for whatever a client's looking for.
Yeah. I do think that the building codes have caught up and are beyond. It used to be a little bit of just greenwashing, right? I mean, I was part of the Boulder Green Building Guild when they first did it, and people wanted efficiency, but there was a lot of things that you would do energy-wise in the past that were bad ideas, right? And so now I think the building science, building code has really caught up. So I think if you built a home to the current codes now, people would be like, wow, I didn't realize it performs as well as it does. Then you have the people who are like, man, I want it to perform amazing. And that's like that leap to passive to alternative building systems,
Yeah.
Have you done any passive homes?
We haven't. Not a true certified passive house. We've got one right now. It'll be a fairly modest home, a single-family ranch with a basement. They want to do, passive house light. It's going to be designed to effectively passive house, but it's not quite going all the way to up that curve of high performance. We're just going to be a little bit short of that, called pretty good house, if you've heard of that term. There's some architects and builders on the East Coast that kind of came up with some of the principles that's kind of like a passive house light.
Yeah.
In ways that you can get very similar qualities and performance, but you don't quite go all the way. So you kind of get the most optimized, cost to benefit there. So, it'll be something like an R40 wall, R60 ceiling, triple pane windows.
Send me that link when you think about it to the, what you call it, better?
Pretty good house.
Pretty good house.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have to be careful when I say that because sometimes people might be like, well, is it pretty good?
Are you saying good enough?
Yeah, right.
Good enough really isn't in my vocabulary. It's either right, it's not good enough.
Yeah.
So, interesting. What if you guys were to design your dream home and build it? Describe it.
Do you want to go first?
Oh, you guys, you mean your vision's not the same?
It's actually probably pretty aligned. We tend to be
You're married.
pretty aligned on things. I would say it's probably not a big house. It's a modest house, lots of sunlight. We would do it pretty good, probably not fully passive, pretty good house. Of course, a big kitchen, and just all the space usable, like not a bunch of dead space. That's not really like our style.
Yeah, we really like the sweet spot. It's really fun to do projects where you focus on like a sophisticated simplicity. And we love to be able to refine that so you kind of get to the essence of what a project's about. And it depends a little bit on the location too, depending on where we're at. It might be a little bit of a different style. Maybe coming from my construction background, I'm like, I'd really love to do something kind of craftsman.
Yeah.
So on the front of the street, you get a bit of a craftsman vibe. You kind of get the gables and such. And then you get out to the back. Let's say it's on this yard faces south, and you just have this big, massive wall of glass. And you kind of have that amazing indoor-outdoor connection there. I mean, the environment here is just amazing. We love Colorado. It's sunny 300 days a year, right? And the weather's so temperate. We really want to take advantage of that wherever we can. So
Just got to keep the mosquitoes out.
yes.
Yeah.
All right. So what else? Interior finish. What would it be like, style-wise?
Our style is pretty clean, pretty modern. A splash of traditional.
Yeah.
But I have to admit that I am fairly lucky because we bought our house and we fully gutted it. Like there was not much left. So I do get to live in a beautiful home that was designed by Jesse, and it's really the first architecturally designed home I've ever lived in. So our house is not big, but it lives big. And so I get to live.
That's a good little catchphrase. It lives big. Because sorry, go ahead.
No. So I have gotten to see the value of living in an architecturally designed home because our house just functions so well for our family. And so I am super lucky, and then we got to design it and do all of the pieces that we like to do. So in some ways I do get to live in a beautiful home that's designed by Jesse, and then I've got like a really great I know how good he is at this. I get to live in it every day, and I can feel the difference between even bigger homes that I've lived in. Our home lives better.
Yeah.
She needs to do our marketing.
There you go. Thinking about Boulder County and the size limitations that they just enacted, and I think that some people are like, oh, I just need a big house. And it's like, no, I mean, it can live big. Right? I mean, 4,500 square feet. I mean, even for a family, you can build an amazing home. And, I think that some people are afraid of that. Like, oh, they took away my ability to build that 6,000 to 10,000 square foot house. They bought this ranch house in unincorporated, and the median size, it's not going to give them a lot. Would they do the project? I think, yeah, do it. Because I do think with the right architecture, that's our new slogan.
Yeah.
It lives big.
Lives big.
Yeah,
I like
I like
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Just being, I think sometimes, not always, but sometimes clients may feel like they need to go, it's almost like they feel like they need to go a little bit over in size. But I think if we're really having good conversations, that we can be like, you know what, I really think this is going to live amazingly for you. Like the large windows, you have a large patio door off the back, like some of those things, as well as just laying out really simply and nicely, can go a long way to maybe pulling back a little bit on the square footage, but it lives big.
So you said, she should be in charge of your marketing. I want to ask you about your reels, your Instagram reel famous.
Oh, goodness.
Right? So tell me about how that started and kind of what, a lot of your mission in that is education for clients, but tell me about that.
Well, I came on and it was just a hole. We knew it was a hole that we needed to fill.
Yeah.
But a lot of the questions that I answer for clients are questions I asked Jesse. So I was like, how do we know if it's a good architect or a bad architect? Right? Like, how do you do that? Like, how do we, what are all the steps that we're going to go through? How how do we know if it's a good contractor? So really, a lot of those questions all just came from things that I was asking him as I was like coming on board the last couple of years and saying like, I don't know, how would I do this as a client? So I think that that's where that perspective came from, to just empower people to, ask the question, oh, like, how are you guys going to bill me? You know, and have the confidence to ask the architect that, whether it's us or somebody else.
That's a good question right there. How are you going to bill me? Because I work with, I think it was 14 different architects in 3 years, and everybody's all over the place, which is probably good because everybody values their services differently. Mm-hmm. It's not standardized, like they do with us builders. What's your cost plus? Oh, that's too, but it's educating the clients.
Yeah. I think I just think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do you guys enjoy doing architecturally?
We are in this deep. I would say like we are really nerds. Like on the weekends, we drive around and look at houses to the point where our daughter says, please, I do not want to go drive and look at houses.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So like we go out to job sites for fun. Like sometimes when we're like, oh, we've got a long lunch, what should we do? We'll be like, oh, let's go check out job sites. Or
we also watch the show Grand Design.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's based in the UK, Ireland, that part of the world, and it's hosted by an architect, and he goes around, and it's usually self-builder. So someone buys a plot of land, right? They work with somebody to design it, then they're going to build it themselves. And it's a very interesting show because he kind of sets up a plot, like the premise of this project, and I hope that goes well. Or they work 800 hours a week, and they're going to somehow build this house. I wonder how this is going to go. And so you watch along this whole thing, and a lot of times it varies. Some of it's like fairly modest. Some of it's like really going for the gold in terms of design or whatever the aspects of the project. And it's really fun to watch and see how things go, where you're like, oh yeah, I can see that pitfall is about to come. It's coming over the hill. And so it's fun to watch. So we love to do that sometimes too, when they have some shows coming on.
I think you guys should put up a camera in the car as you guys are critiquing other houses. And I'd love to hear, as you're driving around and be like, oh, that one's ugly. Look at that gable. Look at what they did wrong. You guys did a little show for you guys.
Yeah. Well, my mom was just here this past week and said it was like driving around with HGTV.
Right.
So, yeah.
You guys launch your own show. Driving with Jessica and Jesse.
Yeah. With our daughter in the back saying, please, no more houses.
No more. What's your favorite go-to restaurant in Boulder County?
Depends on the mood. Tio Cali's a big hit for us when it's like a nice day. We want to be sitting outside in the patio. Like Tio Cali's amazing. Some days feel a little something more spicy. It might be Busaba.
Oh, Busaba.
The curry.
Oh, it's so good.
So
yeah.
good.
Yeah. I could eat that more often.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, so we're going to do a little round of trivia. Okay, have some fun. It's not a lot of questions. Don't be nervous. If you fail, we will let everybody know. So, Jessica, with your prowess in project management and your experience in commercial, okay? March 17th, 1930, the Empire State Building was built. It was the world's first 100-plus story building. Okay? How long did it take?
That was a long one, if I recall correctly. It was like 4 or 5 years.
The Empire State Building. Okay, ready? I'm going to give you 4 options.
400?
4 options. Did it take A, 1 year and 45 days, B, 3 years and 45 days, C, 5 years, 45 days, or D, 10 years and 45 days? A, B,
do you want to take a shot at it, or do you want me to go for it?
You can go for this one.
As I recall, this one took a long time because this was at the end of the Depression. I'm going to go for D.
What do you think, project manager?
I'm gonna stick with my husband here. I'm gonna go D.
Okay, this answer makes me as a custom home builder feel like I build slow. Okay? 1 year and 45 days.
What?
No way.
Yes.
That's crazy.
At one point in time, they did 14 floors in 10 days.
That's nuts.
No, I'm like,
That's insane.
can you fact check this for me, please? And it's like on their historical site. And you're just like, no way. How
That's
do you
amazing.
do that?
Yeah.
You're like, is it straight or is it like the Leaning Tower of Pisa?
Right.
That's incredible.
I don't know what project management, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, she was good.
Yeah. I'm thinking, I thought about the reason why. And I was like, all right, near the Depression, I bet there was an abundance of labor. That
Makes sense.
Yeah.
you know, probably skilled labor because we were mostly in trades. We weren't tech, we weren't,
Can you imagine all the materials, just like the sequencing all day long? Just
How?
move. Constantly erecting steel. I mean,
I'd love to talk to somebody who was involved in that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, that's kind of how long it takes to build a custom home.
It is.
And they did 100 stories.
Wow.
I don't understand. If we are wrong, blame Ben. Okay. And then now we get into current build times. Okay. How long do you think it took for them to build the new World Trade Center?
Is there multiple choice?
No,
on
I'm
this?
just, this is just
off the cuff.
just thinking. All right, if that took a year.
Couple of years,
Yeah,
maybe.
I would still say 2 or 3 years. Yeah.
It was 8.
8 years.
8 years.
Wow.
So you're like, okay, what is it in our modern building process that they can go 100 stories in a year, and then we build this? This is New York too, so it's a whole different ballgame.
Special inspections.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all that. Like you got to wait for an inspector. You got to, and trade. I think skilled trades. Having people like, hey, if we have a great subcontractor, guess what? We're gonna wait because we can get another person in here, but you could pay in the end.
Yeah.
We know that too well. So
Yeah.
it's like, no, we got 5 days. We're going to wait. So, all right. So in the late 1940s, the White House underwent a massive reconstruction. The crews came in and replaced the entire interior and updated it with modern steel frame, electric, plumbing, ventilation, and communication network. So this is 1940. Big architectural building, important to our country, right? What do you think was the main reason for reconstruction? I have some options for you, but give you a second to think about it. Okay. A, termites. B, the wooden beams and structure were rotting. C, a fire in the Oval Office. And D, the president wanted to implement air conditioning. So this was in 1940.
Wasn't there? It wasn't in the Oval Office. I didn't think. Right? Wasn't there a fire? There was a fire back then. I sound like an awful American here.
Yeah,
If I get
know
this wrong.
history, right? Our American history, and I have a friend who's got his U.S. citizenship, and he had to take the test. I'm like, you know more than I do. Like he was quizzing me, and I was like, you got this, dude.
Yeah.
But so, which one do you think?
I'm going to pick AC just because that one's the obscure one.
What was A again?
Termites?
No, I think I'm gonna go. I think the president would. He wanted to. I'm gonna go with president wanted to make the change.
Because he wanted AC. So this
AC.
was Truman. Well, actually, let's have some fun. It was the wooden beams and structure were rotting, dangerously overloaded. So, because I wonder,
That makes sense.
when was it built, Ben?
It would have been after when the British came and burned the first White House down in 1812.
That's
Okay.
what it was.
Built it right the first time.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. But Truman did keep the original exterior because it was historic. So, but it was pretty much a brand new building. All right. Question number 4 for trivia with intentional design. Jessica and Jesse here. Lafayette, Colorado was founded in 1888. What was Lafayette's primary industry until 1950? I have
Technology, I think.
4
Right?
answers. Tech. It was Google.
That was coal mining.
It's coal. We got one.
Yay. Thanks for giving us an easy one.
Yeah. Okay. Final question. Now, there's not a multiple choice. You have to answer this one. You have a dog. His name is Louis. What's the best dog park in Lafayette, in your opinion?
Great dog bark.
Great Dog Park? That's what it's called?
Yeah.
Where's that at?
That'd be just east of town. If you go down Baseline to your first stoplight, as you pass, I guess it'd be about Burlington where the silos are.
Okay.
You take a left. It'll be right down there on the left side. So they've got 2 sections. There's one for like smaller dogs, and there's a bigger one you can let your big dogs off leash.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Louis loves to go run. He goes and beelines it to the other side.
Yeah.
And then he'll come back slowly. We kind of walk our way around. So he loves doing that.
Yeah.
Well, you answered correctly. So you're 2 for 2.
That's great.
All right. Sometimes Ben has questions for you guys to ask me, but we didn't do it today. So sorry, because sometimes I didn't want to answer anything wrong. No.
The truth comes out.
Yeah. Well, hey guys, it's been great to have you on the show. It's been good learning about your journey and the experience that you have and the experience that you take your clients through. I think it's fun to unpack the different ways architects work with their clients, treat their clients, and how they design, because it's not everybody has a little bit different process. I mean, they're all designing at home in plans, but it's how do you get to the final product. So, I think you guys are top notch and appreciate you coming on the show today. So,
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.
yeah, appreciate it.